It's time for Baby and Toddler Instructions with host Blythe Lipman. Blythe is a nationally renowned infant and toddler expert who has over 30 years' experience helping moms and dads regain their sanity, teaching them how to survive, and giving them the confidence they need to be the best parents ever. From sleeping to crying to potty training to choosing a preschool and so much more. If you're a parent, Baby and Toddler Instructions is the show you've been looking for. Now here's your host, Blythe Lipman.
Well, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world you might be. Thanks so much for tuning into Baby and Toddler Instructions today. I can't believe it's March 1st. My gosh, this year is going fast. If you're listening to a podcast, you can always find me on my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, or you can go to TogiNet because all my podcasts are up, and sometimes you might have a question during the show. So you can always find me. I'm always around. So today I have such an exciting show. It's the beginning of March, and we know what that means. What's hot and what's not in March with my favorite buddy, Connie Grunning from peanutbutterandwine.com will be with us first, and then Alison Wong, who wrote a terrific book called New Mom Comics. The first year you will be laughing. I laughed through the whole book. Anyway, a couple recalls today. Little Tykes recalled the 2-in-1 snug and secure pink toddler swing. The plastic seat can crack and break. Pausing a fall hazard. That's not safe. Also, Moose Toys recalled something called Live Pets Little Frog Lily Pad Toys. It says when the button batteries are removed from the toy frogs, the battery's cap can become a projectile, and the battery's chemicals can leak, posing a chemical and injury hazards. So if you go to my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, you will see recalls, and they are on there with the 800 numbers and with the websites. If you have either one of these things, do not use them. Don't try to fix them yourself. Want to keep those little ones safe. So first of all, Connie's here from Peanut Butter and Wine. Yay!
Yay!
And I have to say, congratulations, because Laura J. Wellington, who is the editor and CEO for Thread MB, which is the very famous where social media moms and celebrities come together to do good, reached out to Connie, and she has the most wonderful interview. It's on Facebook. I think it's on her blog. I don't know if you put it on there yet, but you better put it on when you get off. It was the most wonderful interview. I just loved it, and I know we're going to be hearing about Disney, but I'm not going to say any more because then people will have to go read about the interview. How exciting, Connie.
Oh, my gosh, my head is like 10 times bigger than it ever was. I feel so honored that she reached out to me and so just downright giddy. It was such a wonderful write-up that she did about me, and just, it was just, I'm so honored. It just blows me away that this happened. So I'm very excited, and I do hope that I get to hear from Disney because, yes.
Well, you should. Excited. I'll tell you, you should. And you know what? If you're listening for the first time, you have to go to Connie's site, Peanut Butter and Wine, WHINE.com. She's got great contests, giveaways. I love the site. I think you changed the color on the top. It's really pretty with the flowers.
I did.
About whining, and there will be whining. It's so pretty. Anyway, let's talk about March. What do you have in March?
Okay, so we start off the first of every month. I do a giveaway that goes for the entire month, so you get lots of entries if you go every day. I give away $50. It's just sponsored by me. There aren't other blogs that you'll have to follow or anything, although I do a lot of those kind of giveaways where you'll get a lot of bigger prizes. This one is just $50. You can get it whichever way you want. You want it on an Amazon gift card, you want a Walmart card, a Target, whatever you want. Starbucks card, I'll send it to you, whatever. So it's a $50 giveaway. I do it every single month, and I have for years and years now.
Yes.
And
you do have my address, right? You do have my address.
I do, of course. And I always start out my first giveaway with my monthly update. What's happened in my family that maybe I didn't share or I didn't tell anybody about. So I always do, kind of this is what we did this month. And so you'll get to see, I bought myself a Cricut machine, which is it cuts out vinyl so you can iron-ons, you can do the stickers on the back of the car, and so you can see what things that Alice and I, who is my 5-year-old granddaughter, that I am with every day. Since the day she was born, I've been with her. So that's my full-time job is Alice during the week. And you can see the things that we made for the month with the new Cricut machine. But,
they're so cute. I'm looking at it. They're so cute. I didn't realize that you could iron them on. What a great thing.
Oh, man, I'm having so much fun with this machine. If you haven't ever looked at a Cricut machine, it's CRICUT, and type in your search bar, and you'll see all the things that you can do with a Cricut. It's amazing. And then coming up this month, later on this week, I have a Lauren Nicole gift card of $50 to give away. And what Lauren Nicole did is you write out something on a piece of paper and you email it to her. So you're going to scan it, email off, and in that exact handwriting will be what you can put on a keychain, a necklace, a bracelet. Well, my daughter's birthday is coming up, so I asked Alice, you want to do a bracelet for Mom? And she goes, yes, I do. I go, well, what do you want it to say? Do you want it to say, I love you, Mommy, or you're the best Mommy? And she goes, no, I want it to say, guess what, chicken butt? I said, well, you know what? That is so Alice. So she wrote out, guess what, chicken butt, love Alice. And it came out absolutely mind-blowingly beautiful. It's her handwriting, backwards letter and all, and it is so cute, and it is going to make my daughter cry. It's so perfect.
Well, you have to put it on your site.
I will, because I also, so Alice and I did a video yesterday so that she could show you her bracelet and unwrapping it, and she just sat there and looking at it and smiling. She loves it as much as I love it. So that's coming up in March. In February, I did a review of Hotter shoes, Hotter, Hotter. These shoes are put your feet in them the very first time and you have comfort. There's no break-in period. There's no rubbing on the heel. They're padded with pillow cushions, and they're so cute. And I got them in bright red. And it's
how cute. What are they called? Hotter hues? Are they on here?
Yes, they are. I think you may have to go to the second page to get to that.
I'll have to look. Those sound so cute and comfortable.
Oh, they are. They are so cute. And I also did a review for Footr, Footr, and it's a free website that will clean up your shots. They will adjust. You can, excuse me, it's a photo editing site, and it lets you so I took the first picture, and then I did different things with it. So you can see there's one picture I did of Alice running through the water, and there's big droplets of water, and I did it in it's called Color Fantasy Shot, and I'm thinking it needs to be on a canvas because
this is awesome. I'm looking at it. Everybody go to Peanut Butter and Wine, WHINE, and scroll down the page. You will see how cool this is.
How cool is that shot? I mean,
I want everything. I'm going to be here all day entering all the contests.
Yes.
This is so cute. I have to tell you a funny story. I don't know if you saw the Today Show this morning, but I was thinking of little Alice because there was a girl on there that went to school. Her father came to school, I guess, for a teacher meeting or something, and she started telling the teacher that her father grows weed. This is the thing that's trending on today. You have to look this up. This little girl, I was thinking, Alice, so much because you were going to be on. And so the father says, well, do we grow weed? And what do we use weed for? And the little girl said something like, well, weed isn't good for us. So they did a video of the little girl showing where the weed was. Well, you know what? He didn't pull his weeds when he was doing the lawnmower. So the message was, clean up your yard. I could not stop thinking of Alice when I was watching this little, it was just a little 3-minute thing. I'm sure it's on YouTube or on Facebook because it was so funny.
Gosh. It really was. Well, when I went to pick up my other 2 grandchildren from school one day, the teacher said, Eli, is this your grandma? And he goes, no. And she got between us, and she just stood there, and I go, Eli, tell her who I am. He goes, that's my nanny. Know what your name is. So, yeah,
they're so
kids will tell you anything.
So we just have a little bit of time, a few seconds left. Actually, we have 2 minutes left. Anything else? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just made me laugh this morning with the weed.
No, that was funny. I have lots of giveaways. They are on the right-hand side of the blog. And thanks to Blythe's daughter, I now have a entering giveaways video tutorial. And it's up. You'll see it on the top just under my header. That will give you, if you've never entered giveaways, go to blog giveaways. You have a lot less competition than any of these big things, and it supports the bloggers. It's a good thing, and you'll be able to enter and win lots of things. So
it's great. And you know what? Go in your office, or if you're sitting waiting for an appointment, you can join all these giveaways, and they're great. And I'll be looking for my free $50 giveaway in the mail. So, no, I enter like everybody else, and Connie doesn't play favorites. Her computer picks, just so you know. If you send her flowers or something or candy, it's not going to make a difference. The computer is fair.
I will write about it if you want to send me flowers.
Yeah, no, definitely send flowers, candy. Easter will be here, but we're not going to talk about Easter yet. You know what? It's March. It's only March 1st.
Right. It's only March 1st. St.
Patrick's Day.
Yes. Where Alice and I and Mama will have matching T-shirts on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, you need to post them, and I will share them because I love sharing all your stuff. It's so much fun to talk to you. And next month, April Fool's Day, it won't be a joke. Connie will be back. I love talking to you, and she'll have some more giveaways. So you have a great day, and hopefully it doesn't hail anymore because there's a picture of hail on your site. So everybody go to peanutbutterandwine.com and say hi and enter the contest. Thanks, Connie. I will talk to you next month.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.
We'll be right back with more Help My Baby Came Without Instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these.
Would you like to know how to bring more ease to all the decisions you need to make in life? Knowing your core values is the first step in Joyce's free live masterclass. You'll discover your top 5 core values in as little as 45 minutes. Join her now at freegiftfromjoyce.com.
Reaching out from the heartland of the United States with quality programming, this is TogiNet Radio.
It's words you never heard.
If you're like me, sometimes you have trouble choosing between being a couch potato or going out. Hey, it's a big decision for us Scobberlatchers. A Scobberlatcher or a ragabash is another word for a lazy person. Well, a couple from California seems to have solved the problem by inventing a motorized sofa. You may think they're just spinning their wheels, but people have spotted the couple cruising down the street on their drivable Davenport in West Los Angeles and Santa Monica. No word yet on the couple's identity, but a man claiming to be a relative said it's all well within the norm for his fun-loving cousin. I don't know if this Chesterfield on wheels is street legal, but either way, I think the police would have to put up quite a chase before they could couch him.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet.
the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. If you have a question, a comment, want to just say good morning, I love callers. So give us a call at 877-864-4869 during the show. Would really love to talk to you. My next guest is great. I'm so excited. I have her book right here sitting on my desk. And if you go to Facebook and you put in New Mom Comics, you can follow and you can see these great pictures. And her book is called New Mom Comics, The First Year. And my guest is Alison Wong. And let me tell you a little bit about her. She's the author, again, of New Mom Comics, The First Year. It's about the adventures of being a new mom. And it's really funny, but it's really true. It's a guide on what to expect that first year, and it's perfect for new and experienced parents alike. And as a renowned parenting expert, Alison gives advice to new moms and dads about how to simplify their life with a baby, how to find the balance and appreciate the little moments with your kids every day, and so much more. Because, we're always so busy, especially new moms. You have no idea what to expect. You think you do, and then you have this little baby, and you go, oh my gosh, now what do I do? Anyway, Alison, welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's fun to be here.
Your book is really hysterical. I love the pictures, and I have, I say this all the time because I have authors on my show. I have papers in a lot of the pages because it's really funny, but a lot of it's so true. So tell us a little bit about what inspired the idea.
Sure. So my little boy just turned 2, and, as a new mom, when, you're searching through all the blogs and trying to find advice, and I just think I really wanted something like this. I went to all these mom groups, and, the first few months, everything was so new, and I was so worried. And I realized that everyone really had kind of similar problems. We were all not sure about how to cut his nails and how to get him to sleep and all these things. And it was Mother's Day, and he was 3 months old, and I am an illustrator, so I decided to draw a comic about kind of an ode to new moms, and it really took off, that particular strip, that drawing. And I knew I had something there. I knew there was a need for humor for that first year.
There sure is, because it's hard to think things are funny when you haven't taken a shower in 2 days and the baby doesn't stop crying and you just get him down to sleep and you turn the shower on and all you know is, wah! So
exactly.
I know.
It's been fun to kind of look back and in some of those trying moments, it can be really, it's stressful, but what's really helped me with this comic is that if you can look at everything and try to find the humor in it, it really makes things a lot more less stressful. It's let's look for the positive in this really trying moment.
What do you think's the most stressful part the first year, or is it all stressful but all happy?
I think it's just the expectations you have and everything just not meeting it. And all these different phases that go by so quickly. For example, I think I was he was not eating enough or, nursing enough or whatever. It was never enough, and then he kind of grows out of it or something, or just he learned how to use the sippy cup or whatever. And I think the trying part is just not knowing what is normal, what to expect really.
No, and it's so important to have that mommy support group too, because as you said, everybody's going through the same thing. And, it's all relative. My kids are grown-ups, and I look back, and many times I'll say to a new mom, wait till they get their license. I know you don't know. This is stressful to you now, but you know what? Wait. Things get a little more stressful, only differently. Go ahead.
Well, I agree. It's like the same worry is going to always be there, I think. It just changes. And I'm even noticing that now. He's only 2, but I can see now it's other things that I'm worrying about. But it kind of comes and goes. It'll always.
Well, I'm looking At page 13, I love the way you illustrated the book because it has a flap that you can put down on the pages and you don't have to wreck the book. And it's, you can use it as the bookmark. It's funny. I was looking at your book again this morning and page 9, the illustration says you're sitting there and you haven't heard a peep from the baby in hours. And you go in and you know what? The floor squeaks. Your knees are cracking and the baby was sound asleep and just fine. And then you go and wake him up. And it really made me laugh because when my daughter was close to 2, we had an upstairs and she was upstairs for nap time in her crib. And all of a sudden I heard this tremendous bang and I thought, oh my God, something happened. The crib broke. And I went running up so fast that I opened the door and I hit her in the head with the door. She had figured out how to she had figured out how to get out of the crib, and I heard her, and when she got out of the crib, she didn't get hurt. She was fine. And here I go and hit her in the head with the door to see what's wrong.
That is hilarious. I feel like that could be a comic in itself. Oh, that's a good one.
Well, go ahead. You can share it because it's so true. I mean, even now my daughter has an almost 2-year-old, and we'll talk about that because she started telling me how my grandson was trying to climb out of the crib and she had to put the mattress way down and how funny it was, but it wasn't funny then. I felt terrible. I thought, oh, now you have a bruise on your head and there was nothing wrong.
That's funny. Well, my son's just about that age where he's doing that. Just yesterday, I was like, oh, please don't have it start now. He's getting that leg up there.
I'll tell you what, I tell new parents, rule of thumb, before you go running 90 miles an hour, take 3 breaths and calm down because most times there's nothing wrong. And especially, we have all the video monitors now and you can see everything. And it's great because years ago we only had the monitors with the noise and you had no clue what was going on upstairs.
Right, that's true.
Or in the room.
But what's nice is like even you with older kids, like I think you can relate and reminisce, right, with this book. I've got a lot of comments from experienced moms. That first year goes by so quickly that it was they were really grateful to have this to kind of relive some of those moments because it is really pretty universal. Some of those topics that I address,
Oh, they're also universal. I mean, this one with you sitting there about, it's amazing what things show up at your door. We all say our best friend is Amazon. I have a person that will say, my best friend was here today, and I'll say, who's that? And they'll say Amazon. And it's the middle of the night, and you have the TV on, and you're doing the feeding, and wow, something looks so much better at 3 o'clock in the morning than it does at 11 o'clock the next day, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So... Yeah. Did your son sleep? Was he a sleeper? How did you find time to do this book?
That's something I realized too, is that first year, it's such a daze for so many people that they forget all these aspects of the first year. What I did was I started to write a lot of notes down and on my phone. And just all the funny things that would happen, or just things that I thought were kind of ridiculous that I would do. And during his nap time, which he was not a great napper or anything, I wouldn't say that, but I felt like for my own sanity, I wanted to draw these out. It was almost like a diary. You know how some people write, in a 1 line a day or something. Well, I really felt like it was helpful for me to jot it down, and so I tried to do it during nap times and when he went down at night. I thought maybe later on it'd be like a nice gift for him. So I had some other motivation. I just felt like it was needed for people, and so that helped me actually sit down and do it. And I would draw on my tablet, so that was made it a little bit more efficient. And I don't know, I just felt like it was like I was doing a service for people, So I found the time.
No, well, you are, and you know what? Plus, being an illustrator. I love when people do funny illustrations. When they're serious, people don't pick up the books so much. I mean, I always said that with my own books. I have 3 books, and my first book that I did, I have that terrible picture. Well, it's not terrible, but it's a picture of my daughter when she was a baby. And when they have that lip and they pout right before they're going to cry?
Yeah.
That's what's on the cover of my book, and I would get more comments about that. Who is that ugly baby, and why does she look at that like that? And I thought, great, you know what? It made people pick up the book, just like your book, which is so cute, which has you doing different things with the baby. It's really cute. I think the pictures are what grab us.
Yeah, I mean, what is a picture worth 1,000 words? You know, it's like I realized too that there was a lot of stuff out there, but some people just like to soak up information in different ways, you know, different medium, and there really wasn't any kind of comic anything out there about new motherhood or really anything from being a mom. And you know, it's interesting. I was thinking about it. There's from an illustrator. There's a lot of comic artists and comics about family and being a parent, but there's actually not that many women who draw comics about it. And so I really thought that it was a niche, like a need, you know, for a women perspective.
You know what, there is, and we get it. I mean, men get it too, but women get it, and it's really cute. You know, you were talking about mothers and being with other mothers. Do you have a tip for cutting nails?
Oh gosh, I have to.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Oh no, it's okay. But I started using, you know, my phone with like a, you know, Thomas video just to get him to stare at that while I cut his nails. I mean, that was kind of the
cutting nails is really scary, especially when you first come home with a baby, because their nails grow really quickly. And, you know, so many parents will cut a little too close and there'll be blood and the baby will be fine. I will tell you that. I guarantee you nothing's going to happen. But I always would tell new parents to get a soft emery board, not a used one that, you know, that you've done on your nails, a new one. And they make them for babies, and file your baby's nails. Also, the best time to cut the nails is after you've fed them and they're nice and calm. I mean, I used to do my kids' nails when they were in the swing. I would stop the swing and I would do the nails. They're nice and relaxed. But as they get older, it's quite a challenge to get them to sit still with those little hands.
Totally.
And I didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's just that we were talking. You mentioned cutting nails when we were talking about getting together with other mommies. But we're going to have our second commercial break in just a few seconds. And when we come back, I'm going to talk to Alison Wong about her book, New Mom Comics, the first year. Check it out on Facebook. I have it up right now. It's really cute. You'll see some of the illustrations. And stay with us. We will be right back. Here comes the music.
We'll be right back with more help. For help, my baby came without instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these.
Baby love, my baby love, I need you, oh, I need you.
It's words you never heard.
Got a lead foot? According to state troopers, here's what not to do when you get pulled over. Don't be a lachrymous and start crying right away. It doesn't help. But if you're under 20, crying won't be held against you. Don't ask for a break, and don't yell or start any argy-bargy. And one trooper said, if they're going to flirt with me to get out of a ticket, it would probably insult my intelligence. But unfortunately, I don't get hit on all that often. So flirting or being a gill flirt won't work. Did you know that 15% of all drivers get 76% of all traffic tickets? And the odds of winning if you challenge a traffic ticket in court are 1 in 3. So what should you do when you get pulled over for speeding? Be courteous to the officer, and most of all, be honest.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
It's words you never heard.
Researchers at Binghamton University's Department of Psychology in England believe that if you use a period while texting, it makes you appear less sincere. Hey, autocorrect alone makes my texts look like they came from a goostrum noodle. The study goes on to say that using a period in a text conversation is an act of psychological warfare. Hyperbole maybe, but we get the point. The same research also found that exclamation marks are more friendly and sincere than no punctuation at all. Talk Talk Mobile states that you should always match a kiss for a kiss when texting significant others as well. Fewer or more digital kisses compared to your partner can be construed as a brush-off. Would someone who is distracted by their phone while driving be considered intoxicated?
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet, the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. I am here with my wonderful guest today. Her name is Alison Wong. She's an author. She's an illustrator. She's a mom. And she wrote this great book called New Mom Comics, the first year. And she talks all about things that we're challenged with the first year as a parent, but it's in comic form. And not only is it really cute, but there's some really good tips in the book. And I'll tell you what, this would make a great shower gift. Because, you know, when you find out you're pregnant, at least these days, not when I was pregnant many years ago, you go online and you look everywhere. And if you go to 10 sites, you're going to get 10 answers. And if you go to 20 sites, you're going to get 20 answers. And while I love technology, I always go on to try, you know, to get answers. You have to take things with a grain of salt, because once that little baby's in your arms, it isn't always what the answer said. But in saying that, don't ever be afraid to ask the question. If you have a question while you're pregnant, you know, if you have a question once the baby's born, no question is silly. Don't ever feel ridiculous about asking a question. I had more moms say to me, "Can I ask you this? This is the dumbest question." Nothing is a dumb question. You know what? None of us have ever done this, so ask away. So I am going to ask away, Alison. Do you have a favorite comic in your book?
Oh, let's see. God, there's so many good ones because they're all based on, like, my real experiences. But I do think the one about when I walk into the room and I accidentally, you know, my ring hits the crib and he wakes up. I mean, it's just so visceral. Like, I can recall that in my mind right now. And I think a lot of people have told me about how, like, they just really relate to that. So that's definitely one of them. And I think the other one is like this the phantom shower cries. Have you ever heard those? Like when you're taking a shower, just like you're screaming, and then you run back and it's like, wait, you're not screaming, and it's just so funny that our mind does that to us. And so I captured that in the comic form, and at the end I put rinse and repeat because that's what it's called, because I felt like I kept on repeating that.
That's
thought.
what you do. You go running out, and I'll tell you what, when you get older and you're grandma, you hear phantom phone ringing. Did I just miss a phone call? But you don't get out of the shower because you've learned if anything's that important, they left a message or they'll call you back.
Yeah, you know,
but it's funny.
They should make those video monitors waterproof so you can put it in the shower.
Great idea. Hey, good idea. So, you know, and I remember, too, when my kids were little, I would put them in their little bouncy seat, and I'd bring the seat into the bathroom. And then when they got older and we had an exerciser, I would bring the exerciser into the bathroom. And then when they got older, you would try to close the door, and they still wanted to come in with you. So if you don't have a child yet, enjoy your private me time, taking a shower, going potty, because it all changes, right?
Oh, yes, we're in that potty phase now. It's quite the audience, right?
It's really interesting. Also, I'm looking at Hurry Up and Stop. He says, I got caught up in the milestones race and thought he was behind. Before you know it, he starts doing the thing you wanted him to do, and you miss the days he didn't. You know, that's a tough one because we always worry about our kids, especially, again, we've never done it. And we compare. We're not supposed to, but we compare, and your friends will say, my baby's doing this, and you'll look online, and it will say the things they're supposed to be doing. And
my little boy was a late walker, you know, so it was exactly that. And then one day they walk, and they don't crawl anymore, and it's like, oh, like I should have really cherished that time rather than keep on thinking, oh, when is he not going to do this anymore? You know, like, oh, what's the next step? So I really try to emphasize in the book, like, hey, like, embrace the present. you know, and not think about and worry about what he should or should not be doing. You know, it's really great to just be in the present.
How old was he when he walked?
I'd say 16 months.
Oh, see, I got you beat. My son didn't walk till he was 18 months.
Okay.
And looking back, I figured, I used to always say, he probably said, why the heck should I walk? She's carrying me around, and he was long, and I'm short, and his feet were hanging like below my knees, and he was heavy. And I'm sure he was probably laughing inside. That would be a great comic, because I used to kid Andrew about it, and I said, you never walk. I carried you around. Why the heck should you walk? It's easier to have somebody carry you.
He knew what was best, right?
Oh, yeah, but you know what? I did worry, too. And I called the doctor, and what's wrong? And there's nothing wrong. But, you know, it's tough because you don't know.
Yeah. Was that your first? Was that your
No, it was my second.
Oh, okay.
It was my second, but my first is a girl, and, you know, what you think they're going to follow along, but they're also different.
That's
true. You know,
Yeah.
at one point, I thought I was going to move into the pediatrician's office because I kept thinking, is this a silly question? He's going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to have to find a new pediatrician. And that's never the way. I do have to say this. If you have a pediatrician and they make you feel bad when you ask a question, switch. You got to figure you're going to be with them for 18 years. And, you know, it's the relationship.
I agree. I went. You go so many times that first year, you know. I remember when it was like 2 months to 4 months. I was appalled that I had to wait 2 months to see them again. And I was like, wait, no, can I just make an appointment anyway? And yeah, I also switched to pediatricians too because I wanted someone that was just really just open and kind to all of those questions you get. So.
You know, and it's good. You can have a meet and greet. You know what? Just because maybe one of your friends likes a pediatrician, sometimes it's not a connection. And that's okay. Everybody's different. But don't you think, you know, you can interview a pediatrician while you're pregnant, and then after you have the baby, it's like, who are you? They're not really who you interview.
No. And you know what's interesting is I felt like at least the first 6 months, because I had so many questions and worries that I would go in so often that I would actually kind of I would almost like be interviewing all the pediatricians because, you know, you couldn't always get your own, so you meet a few. And then that's how I met mine. I was like, oh, this woman, I really like her. So it's kind of like doing the round.
Yeah, you know what? And it's important. It's important because the other thing is if it's something that you've never done with your child, don't be afraid to question them. You know, every pediatrician has different things. Some pediatricians will put babies on antibiotics right away when they're sick. Others won't put them on at all. And that's a tough place when your kids get sick. Because, you know, we've been brought up to think if somebody gets sick, you give them medicine. But that's not the way so much anymore. You know, you give it a couple days, and maybe it's just a virus. And
yeah, we went through that too ourselves with all the ear infections, and we just didn't give them antibiotics that first time, and then it went away. And so I'm really grateful that we decided not to, jump right in. So I agree. It's got to find the right fit too.
You can always wait, and you find out after you go home and after you've had the baby a couple weeks and everybody's home that the baby is not going to break. You know, we're always so scared because they hand you this little thing. And this little thing, I always say, he comes pre-swaddled because a lot of times the nurses are too busy to show you how to swaddle the babies. So you unwrap this baby, and he's screaming, and you don't know what to do, and you're afraid, you're really afraid. And then you get home and you realize, oh, I'm not going to break the baby. He's fine. What do you think? What were your biggest challenges?
Oh. There's the baby part and there's the mom part, right? I think survival was the main word for the first few months, right? Just like you have to remember to eat and you have to remember to do, and your sleep and all that. So that was really tough the first, 4 or 5 months, really, and then, I guess it's just all the things that they throw at you that, because every kid is so different, and some moms would have issues with something, and then I would get something, and it was just always the unknowns, like reflux, or I don't know, oh, he's not drinking enough, but I don't know, yeah, it was helpful to talk to all these other moms and kind of understand what was normal when everyone was going through the same thing. So that was good.
Also, you get the tips from the other moms. They may do something that you never thought of, like filing the nails. Maybe nobody ever told you that. Or one of my favorite tips from my books is if your baby's having a cranky day and you know that nothing's wrong, it's just a cranky day, take a receiving blanket, put it in the dryer, warm it up a little bit, and then swaddle your baby. And most of the time, boys do not like their arms to be swaddled. I'll have parents tell me their babies don't like to be swaddled. And basically, most babies do because it simulates the womb, and they like the tight around their middle. But if they don't like their arms in, you know what? Put the warm blanket under their arms. And if the baby's still crying, turn on the dryer, put a blanket on top of the dryer, and lay your baby down there. Do not leave them. Do not put your baby in the dryer. And sometimes the warmth from the blanket and the vibration from the dryer will calm down a cranky baby, because you know what happens is the baby's crying just because they're crying. Babies cry. And then you're crying because you don't know what to do, and then you feel like a terrible mother, and you're not. And it's the first time you don't know who to call. So, it's great, like you said, to have your girlfriends to ask, what do you do?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted this book to be, It's like that girlfriend. Just no judgment, have some humor and love. That's really what I was, people need, at that stage. I mean, there's so many things, right? Breastfeeding, that whole subject, that itself was kind of your body changes and that was really new to me. And
I love this page. It's this page that has We Make Gold. I love the illustration with the liquid, but we're going to have a commercial break in just a few seconds. And when we come back, we'll talk a little more about your book and your tips. And I am going to ask you what your favorite parenting tip or tips are. I ask all my guests. So, something to think about. And when we come back, I want to tell everybody again to go on. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, go on the site. Go on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, look up New Mom Comics, and you'll see some of these great illustrations, and you'll laugh, and it will start your day off the right way, because it made me laugh this morning. So the tunes are coming. Stay with us. I'm here with Alison Wong, mom, illustrator, and author. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more Help My Baby Came Without Instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these.
It's words you never heard.
Did you ever wonder how reindeer survive the severe cold? Well, they snuzzle around for some moss to eat. Moss contains a special chemical that helps keep their body fluids warm. And they're going to have to keep warm if they're going to pull Santa's sleigh every year. Santa's sleigh was originally called a winged doodle. Both male and female reindeer grow antlers, but male reindeer drop their antlers at the beginning of winter. I can't help but wonder why Santa's reindeer from Rudolph to Blitzen had male names. Since they had antlers, they would have had to be female. We women should have known only females would be able to drag a hefty man outfitted in a red velvet suit, originally called a hoopin' daddy, all around the world in one night and not get lost.
It's words you never heard.
I'm Carolyn Davidson, and you can have fun challenging your words you never heard vocabulary with my free app, Too Funny for Words.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
In the United States, approximately 765,000 strokes occur each year. The National Stroke Association recommends the FAST method, F-A-S-T, for identifying potential signs of a stroke so you can act quickly to limit permanent disabilities and to save lives. F is for face. Ask the person to smile. A is for arms. Ask the person to raise both arms. S is for speech. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence. T is for time. If you see that they cannot perform any of these tasks independently or together, call 911 immediately. Taking action quickly can save a life and minimize permanent impairment. When it comes to a stroke, remember FAST. I'm Annette Hammond. For other fitness and weight loss tips, visit our website at AnnetteHammond.com.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet, the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. We are up to my last part of my show. It goes so fast, and I'm talking to Alison Wong. She is the founder of New Mom Comics, the first year. Excuse me. And she has these great illustrations for all the things that happen the first year that you don't expect. And you know what? We're talking about what to do, what not to do. And before the break, I was talking about the illustration. You have to see this book. It's so adorable. It would make a great shower gift, great new parent gift. Even give one to a grandparent, you'll make them laugh. But I was talking about the illustration about breastfeeding. And we talk about breast milk being gold. And it's so true, because if I keep looking, whoever said don't cry over spilled milk didn't breastfeed. And that is so true, because it's like liquid gold. It's so much effort to breastfeed. It's so worthwhile. If you can do it, if you can't do it, you know what? There's great formulas out there. But if you are a breastfeeding mom and you spill the milk, oh my gosh, I remember I worked in an infant room, and the mom breastfed, and we would keep the breast milk in the freezer and take it out and thaw it in a cup of warm water. You never put breast milk in the microwave to thaw it. And I had it in the cup of warm water, thawing, getting ready to put in the bottle, and the bag had a hole in it. And all the breast milk went in the cup of water, and thank goodness the mom was a teacher where I worked, and I called her and said, I am so sorry. I felt so bad all day, because I know how much work it is, and it is liquid gold. So these are really, really cute. Go ahead.
Just quick on the breastfeeding. Some of the containers that the breast machines go into, they're really lopsided and heavy, and so it was really easy to knock those over. And that happened a few times. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish they'd have a better design for these pumps. But,
especially if you're doing it like 3 o'clock in the morning and your baby only took a little, but you still need to pump. And
right.
You know what? It's great if you can do it. It's great if you can't do it. And while I need to say this, don't let anybody pressure you into doing anything. You know what? I've had guests on my show that are pro breastfeeding, that are against breastfeeding. That I've had a guest talk about how, all the things to say when somebody kind of gives you that look because you can't breastfeed. And you know what? A lot of times you can, whether it's medical, whether your milk just doesn't come in, whatever it is. You're still going to have a child that grows up. You're going to go to the pediatrician for 18 years for the shots, and it'll all be fine.
Right.
So do you have a favorite parenting tip?
I was thinking about that, and there are so many. But I thought, I was just thinking about my life, and when I do, when we feed the kid, or just all the little things that I've been doing in that area. So I thought I'd just think about a few of those. Like, when you try to put your kid in the high chair and you got these straps, what I did was I used Velcro a lot in my day-to-day. So I have kind of this Velcro, and so I always have the little straps open. So when you put the kid in, they're not like all tangled up in the strap. So I do that each time. So I kind of like have this Velcro, and I kind of clip it on the back of the seat. And so he's in, and then it's easy to strap him in afterwards. So that's a good one. And then also I bought this clear vinyl sheet to put under the high chair. It's clear. It doesn't have designs and stuff, because I bought one of these designed, patterns underneath the high chair. And then when he spilled food, I couldn't, is that a raisin or is that like a dinosaur eye? So I just got this clear vinyl sheet, and it's been really great to just, easy cleanup, and I can tell where the food is. And so that's been really helpful too.
I love those tips, especially I love the Velcro because, sometimes your toddler or, your older baby is starving and you're trying to get them in the high chair and you're trying to get them hooked in and, everything gets twisted. Also, I wonder if you could put a piece of Velcro on the child and just Velcro them in. I'm just kidding.
Well, Velcro's like the best thing ever. No one told me about those Velcro swaddles. Like they teach you in the hospital how you swaddle it, and then you get home and I just bought one online, one of those Velcro ones, and it's like amazing. Why didn't we just bring those to the hospital? So
they are amazing, and they're talking about swaddling. There's so many ways to swaddle a baby, and if you don't use these swaddles with Velcro, if you're going to buy something, make sure you look at the reviews from the other moms because I know there's all kinds of swaddling blankets out there, and some of them have like 14 different sides you have to fold in and put the arm a certain way, and once you do it, it's great. Once you figure it out, it's great. So if you get the Velcro swaddle blankets are great, but also you can learn how to do it the other way. And usually the Velcros keep the babies in there longer if they like it. I always have parents ask me, how long should you swaddle your baby? And, I always say until they don't want you to swaddle them. Again, we talked about keeping the arms out. I had a baby in one of my baby classes. He wouldn't go to sleep until he was swaddled, and he was 9 months old. So the most important thing, especially in the beginning, is make sure you put your baby to sleep on his or her back, whether they're swaddled or not. Once they start moving around and rolling around, if they're a real active baby, then they don't want the swaddle. So there's no right or wrong answer about how long to swaddle your baby. But I would say if you think your newborn the first couple weeks does not like to be swaddled, it's not true. I've never seen a baby that doesn't like to be swaddled. You just have to make sure it's the arm issue.
Right. Or one arm at one time. I think I did it gradually. I had one arm out and then two. I have a comic about swaddling too because, there's following all these instructions online and we're like up, down, up, over, and then out because then you'd always get out of it. So I thought that was definitely try to capture that in one of my comics.
Yeah, you know what? I see that. It's so cute because it is. It's all these instructions, and by the time you finish doing it, you missed your sleep window. Baby's not going to sleep. Then everybody's crying. This is funny. I like this page on potty mouth, 37 the things I didn't expect as a new parent that I use an emoji so much. It's so true. It's so funny. This emoji is hysterical. The things you say, you never thought you'd say, and then the things the kids say as they get older, the things that come out of their mouth, out of the mouth of babes, as we say.
Right. I know. I'm getting to that point right now. And what's fun, too, is like your relationship with your spouse. I think that comic shows it. It's just our vocabulary between us changes a lot, and it's just been fun to kind of see our relationship grow, too, just with each phase of the baby growing up. It's like we have to kind of change too. Together.
Yeah. No, you do. And you know what? And daddies are different with babies. Like I'll have mom say, well, he didn't do what I told him to do. And it's like, but is the baby okay? Is the baby happy? Is the baby dry? Daddies are not always going to do it the same way. They try their best. If you go out and leave baby with daddy, come back, give him a hug and say thank you. And you know what? If the diaper's on backwards, well, just fix it. They try.
Exactly. They do, and that's what counts. So true.
Where can my listeners get your book?
Oh, it's on Amazon, and you can look for New Mom Comics, as well as my website, which is newmomcomics.com.
And it's really cute. The illustrations are just adorable.
And you mentioned my Facebook page before, but I've been I'm still drawing them. So the great thing is that I try to draw one each week, and so now we're getting to the toddler years there already. So I can see perhaps another book down the road with the toddler edition.
That would be great because toddlers are something else. And I am going to, at the end of the show, I'm going to end my show with a quote that I I'm not going to tell you now. Everybody has to listen to the end of the show. But, you know, what comes out of the mouths of babes, as we were talking, is really funny. And when I was talking to Connie Grunning at the beginning of the show, I was talking about on the Today Show, was a little girl that was telling her teacher how her father grows weed. Well, she was talking about the weeds on the grass and how he didn't mow the lawn right. But it was pretty funny. So, you know, you never know what's going to come out of their mouths. You just have to be really careful about what you say because they watch everything you do. And got to be careful because I guarantee you it will come out of their mouth. I have seen it with my grandson and went, oh, my God. And I'll go, Lindsay, why did you say it? But you can't help but laugh because it's really funny. Anyway, we are coming up to the end of the show, so I would like to let you go. I want you to have a great day today, and I will let you know when the podcast is available. It's so much fun to have you on the show. I love the book. I don't know which page I like better, but I'll tell you what, if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to pull your book out, and I'm going to look at it again, even though I'm a grandma. Maybe you should do a grandma book.
Yeah, I should definitely have a few comics about grandmas and grandparents. Yeah,
that would be fun. Well, thanks so much for being on the show, and I will talk to you again. You take care, Allison. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow, that was a fun show. I love my show, as you know. I say it all the time. I meet such wonderful people and, you know, learn so many things from my guests. Next week, my guest is going to be Dr. Stuart Shanker. He's going to be sharing his tips to help you and your child break the stress. Because sometimes there's a little stress when you're a new parent or when when you're any parent. When your kids are teenagers, when they get their license, there's stress, and he's going to tell us how to break that stress cycle. So that will be a really interesting show. I have some great guests coming up. If you would like to be on the show, you can go to my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, see my articles. I have experts on there, and you can contact me through there, or go to toginet.com. They can always find me, and maybe you want to have your own show. It's really fun to be a radio host. So also, I want to tell you, please like my pages on Facebook, My Best Parenting Advice, Baby Instructions. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Pinterest. I'm on LinkedIn. I love sharing tips with all of you. So here's a little humor to end my show today. As you all know how important it is to laugh at least once a day. You never know how inappropriate song lyrics are until you hear your child singing them, boy, out of the mouths of babes. My daughter woke up at 6:06 a.m. today instead of her usual 6 a.m. because we let her stay up 5 hours past her bedtime last night. And finally, dear mother-in-law, please don't tell me how to raise my kids. I'm married to one of yours and he still needs work. Boy, isn't that the truth sometimes? Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.